They are the Super Bowl champs, but you don't know who the kicker is, do you? And after what I heard, I'm not interested in much more. The kicker went on an ultra-conservative religious tirade. You listen for yourself.
I'm sure your high school graduation was not what you had imagined, and most likely, neither was your first couple years of college. By making it to this moment through all the adversity thrown your way from COVID, I hope you learned the important lessons that suffering in this life is only temporary. As a group, you witnessed firsthand how bad leaders who don't stay in their lane can have a negative impact on society. It is through this lens that I want to take stock of how we got to where we are and where we want to go as citizens and yes, as Catholics. The many challenges you all faced throughout the COVID fiasco and how you missed out on so many milestones the rest of us older people have taken for granted. While COVID might have played a large role throughout your formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder.
Okay. I can tell you that I believe he prepared the speech itself. Okay. I also think he overused the thesaurus. I do. We didn't need you to illuminate all this nonsense.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
Commencement address Saturday at Benedictine College, which is a conservative Catholic college in Kansas. Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker, who is a staunch conservative, devout Catholic, went off on a politically conservative, deeply religious tirade going after working women, the LGBTQ plus community, DEI, President Joe Biden, and yes, other Catholics. 3-time Super Bowl winner was Showtime getting to air his grievances with the Biden administration, blaming the president for the COVID fiasco he inherited from former President Donald Trump, to criticizing Biden's support of abortion rights. I forget what really happened that Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know what kind of integral role he played or didn't, but I would be weighing it right now if I were in charge, and maybe we wouldn't win a fourth. I don't know, but I just don't want to hear his mouth. But maybe you do. So I'll give you some more. Tee that one up.
Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. It appears that you can be both Catholic and pro-choice. He is not alone. From the man behind the COVID lockdowns to the people pushing dangerous gender ideologies onto the youth of America, they all have a glaring thing in common. They are Catholic. This is an important reminder that being Catholic alone doesn't cut it. These are the sorts of things we are told in polite society to not bring up. We need to stop pretending that the Church of Nice is a winning proposition. We must always speak and act in charity, but never mistake charity for cowardice. The world around us says that we should keep our beliefs to ourselves whenever they go against the tyranny of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We fear speaking truth because now, unfortunately, truth is in the minority.
And you say what truth is, right? I just want to be clear about that part. You're the one that decides what truth is. And this is a question. I think I know the answer, though. Okay, so not done. Not done. As the Daily Beast notes, this is all within the first 3 minutes. And he went on like that until the very end. Now, he did manage to slip in a homophobic dig as he criticized the Associated Press for its coverage of Benedictine College, which pushes traditional conservative Catholic doctrine on its ever-growing student body. Watch this.
I am certain the reporters at the AP could not have imagined that their attempt to rebuke and embarrass places and people like those here at Benedictine wouldn't be met with anger, but instead met with excitement and pride. Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it, but the true God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify him.
You know, maybe you're a believer, maybe you're not. But what I know about religion, what I at least was taught, it's not supposed to be something where you just go and cast aspersions on everybody and point the finger and say ugly things about people. You hug and love even people you don't agree with. That's what I thought. I could be wrong though. But I did go to vacation Bible study. I read the word. And that's what I remember from early on. It's so important. All right, towards the end of the speech, Butker argued students ought to lean into their vocations. Naturally, this led up to the urge. Well, he urged female students to embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker. Daily Beast with the details. So let's let him get into that.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2024, you are sitting at the edge of the rest of your lives. Each of you has the potential to leave a legacy that transcends yourselves and this era of human existence. In the small ways, by living out your vocation, you will ensure that God's church continues and the world is enlightened by your example. For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
I know you're itching to get in here. That's something more, if this is how you feel. Say, do a toast at the reception or something when you do get married. I'm sure Elizabeth is a lovely, lovely gal. Well, hell, I gotta let you get in here now because I'm about to bust myself. So I tap out. It's your turn.
Oh Lord, on Unboss, I used to just throw some. I got to bring this back. I cannot with this dude. This fool, and that's what he is, Sharon. Let me borrow from your word. He did not understand the assignment. Harrison, baby, let mama teach you a lesson here. Even though you're too old to be my son, but let mama teach you a lesson here. Brother, you missed the assignment. This wasn't a Republican convention or a Republican reunion. This was a graduation. You were supposed to center the students and not yourself. WTF, if this is the 1950s, you want to speak to the ladies in particular and tell them, oh, get your degree and also be barefoot and pregnant and cater to a man's every whim. Harrison, is that what you want, pumpkin, baby? Lord have mercy, Sharon, I just couldn't take it. This man should never, let me calm down. Let me calm myself down. Nope. Lord have mercy, I wish I had my fire extinguisher. Baby, you should never, ever, 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 ever in your long or short ass life be invited back to a graduation. I'm sure there were people in there from the LGBTQ plus community sitting up in that piece, and you talking all this smack. Women who are liberated. That don't mean that women can't fry it up in the pan and do all the other stuff. But baby, they don't want to hear you tell them what they got to do.
Thank you.
I'm totally insulted. The brother did not know the damn assignment. He just did not please, for the love of God and Black Jesus with the sandals on, please, brother, never go speak at another graduation. Baby, you messed that one up.
For him. It's not for him. You're right. He reduced us to this, we're just this one dimension. There's not,
barefoot
there's
and
no layers.
pregnant.
That's
And then
right.
he had the nerve to choke up when he was talking about his wife. Now, Sharon, I'm with you. The wife was probably look, we're not putting this on the wife. Just not.
No.
But boo, please.
And here's the
Don't
thing.
do it. He
You're
ruined
right.
it. He ruined it.
Listen, on private call, and maybe I said this to you before, I've often said, I don't remember life before my daughter. I love her so much. That's for me to say. You don't tell me. And by the way, what he's saying, I'm not married. See, only 50% of my life has started. What a waste. I've wasted myself. I've wasted myself. Okay? And I find it reprehensible. And you know what? I do have career aspirations. I can also make a lasagna. I think I make a great lasagna. Harrison, for the love of it, what the hell? I mean, does somebody look up his record? Is he that good? Is he that good? And since when do the kickers, and I'm not against kickers, why does the kicker get to be talking? Why does he get to give the commencement speech? This is, of all the people, this guy?
Sharon Reed, this is an example of being out of one's lane. Okay, he might be one of the best kickers in the NFL, but baby, please stay on your square. You are not suited to give a graduation speech.
Proof your speech next time, Harrison. And then they might say,
the students, dude. Sharon, if he had just did that one simple thing, center the students, he would have been all right. He thought he was at a Republican national convention. That speech he gave.
It probably went over remember Clint Eastwood when he got up there on stage and he was he talking to a chair? Yes. And that's how I feel, this is not, you missed the mark, okay? And I bet you he wanted to put some stuff in about Taylor Swift and Kelsey and his wife. I guarantee Elizabeth said, "No, don't go that far, okay? Because we still got to eat." And I don't, okay? I'm gonna be here with the kids, but while you go give the speech, don't put the Swifties up in there.
No.
All right. So meanwhile, Senator, NFL fans are calling for Butker to face a comparable punishment to Colin Kaepernick. Oh.
Hello, somebody.
Remember, he made the controversial statements demanding the NFL discipline Butker. Several fans drew comparisons to Kaepernick's plight following his silent protest against police brutality and social injustice by refusing to stand for the national anthem before games in 2016. They said, look, we just don't want to alienate fans. We just want it to be about football. Okay, well, if that's the standard, okay. I don't know why the NFL owners aren't acting here. I know they like law and order. Bob Kraft, he still owns the Patriots, right? I mean, he knows about law and order. I'll just put it that way. Okay. But anyway, if you're going to enforce things, I would think San Francisco 49ers quarterback opted to become a free agent after 2016. And then for some reason, he went unsigned through the offseason. There was a growing sentiment around the NFL that Kaepernick had effectively been ruled persona non grata by the NFL team owners. 2017, Kaepernick filed a grievance against the NFL, accusing league owners of colluding to keep him out of the league. It was settled in 2019. Atlanta Black Star reminding us of that history. Butker's speech prompted some to call out the NFL for its perceived hypocrisy. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker rails against Pride Month, working women in commencement speech. Oh, but it's Colin Kaepernick who deserves to be canceled, an ex-user pointed out. This is so gross. But of course, same folks who told LeBron James to shut up and dribble, Colin Kaepernick to stick to sports, are celebrating this disgusting white Christian nationalist vile stuff. And that's just one person on X. Chiefs declined to comment on Butker's commencement speech. Butker is under contract for one more season in Kansas City. Well, they'll take the temperature there. And if the folks don't want to listen to it, maybe he'll go elsewhere. Okay? He can't go to the Dolphins. He can't go to the Rams. I mean, I'm just thinking of cities that's not going to necessarily welcome him. He can't come to Atlanta. Don't bring that down here. I assure you, you won't be down here. No, sir. Jonathan Bean, an executive at the NFL, stressed to the Daily Beast that Butker's views did not align with those of the league. Okay. Wonder why they picked Jonathan Bean to give the rebuttal, but I was just curious. I'm just
Sharon,
curious.
you know why.
Well, and maybe there's a lot of guys that I don't know, but when I think of, they said, who should, I never even heard of this guy. But it could be coincidence, okay? Bean, who acts as the NFL senior vice president and chief diversity and inclusion officer.
Of course.
He probably has a lot of vacation. They're not coming into the office every day. I know that. Why would he be in the office every day? I'm sure he works remote. And he probably has another full-time job. I can assure you of that. Okay. He said in a written statement, Harrison Butker gave a speech in his personal capacity. We know that, Jonathan. The NFL is steadfast in our commitment to inclusion, which only makes our league stronger. Okay, so you didn't say anything. He didn't say anything in that. He told us what we already knew. He gave a speech, and we know it's the offseason. It's Jonathan Bean. We know there's no football. It ended with Super Bowl. They'll pick it up. Training camp. So we know he did it on his private time. And the other part was a throwaway. The NFL, what did he say? It's just a throwaway. I forgot it that quickly because he didn't say anything, Senator. Did he? Did I miss it?
No, not at all. There will be no consequence for Harrison, Sharon Reed. We just go and let our audience know what the facts are. No consequences whatsoever for this man. Yeah. But if he was a brother,
You're right. You're right. I predict that off of his successful commencement speech, he'll next show up in Manhattan and he'll sit inside a courtroom. That's where he'll be. Okay. It'll be in Manhattan, and I happen to think he'll be supporting someone else who has great religious values. Anyway, go ahead, Senator. No.
I mean, I just sigh deeply, and you want to talk about the Catholic faith. Yeah. I mean, what would Jesus do in the face of, there's scripture that talks about I was in prison, you didn't come see me. I was hungry, you didn't feed me. I needed clothing, you didn't clothe me. What about all that? Why he's sitting up there lecturing about Catholic values? And Sharon, you and I both are church girls, so we can roll with the best of them. Mm-hmm. But I can guarantee you, Jesus would not be doing what some of these fools. And your daughter, I guess your daughter can fuss at me too, because I love the word. I mean, really though.
It just fits. It's flying out of our mouths because it fits. And I would like to see, if you are a devout Catholic or anybody else, I want you to speak up. You speak and take care of this matter. This matter needs to be taken care of.